However, sputtering that his final effort was. 20-9, again your final. Gino, a day to forget. 180 yards through the air, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. The midnight oil, long gone, but they are here. Emory Hunt and Bryant McFadden here to offer some thoughts on this second act in the Monday night double dip. Fellas, bad football. That's sort of the overarching storyline here, the headline, especially in that fourth quarter. Let's go with LA, the winner. Mac, their inability to get this thing across the finish line convincingly. What did it tell you about where they're at right now?
They started to play around with their food a little bit because clearly the chemistry and rhythm was never there for the Raiders. But because of the inconsistency with the Chargers, it gave the Raiders an opportunity to get back into this ball game and steal it potentially. So when you look at how they finished the game against the Chiefs in Brazil, we didn't really see that same sense of urgency and efficiency surface tonight. But yet and still, they were good enough to win. And you really have to applaud the Chargers because at this stage in their season, being 2-0, undefeated with 2 wins coming against divisional foe teams, that's a massive achievement.
I was more impressed with their defensive effort tonight. You talk about Derwin James and Deion Henley. Both of those guys played phenomenal football. Yep. Deion Henley got the interception on the first pass of the ball game, and then you look at how he bookended the game with a sack on Geno Smith. And then we talk about Derwin James and how he made plays on both ends of defense all throughout the ball game. Pass breakups, tackles in the run game, doing a great job in applying pressure, leveraging the football. And when you look at some of those corners for the Chargers, they did a great job as well playing the ball in the air. They didn't run out of gas. I felt like the offense ran out of gas, and that's something that they're going to have to get right come next week. But defensively, I thought they played great from start to finish.
I think if you asked Justin Herbert, he wouldn't claim this to be his sharpest performance. We saw great stuff in week 1, yet and still this season, holistically, 72% completion percentage, 560 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's playing great football. Yes. He's putting his team in the position to be in those opportunities to salt the game away late. They don't do it in the most convincing fashion here, but still plenty for a win. On the other side of this, Geno Smith's numbers beg some questions here. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions, an offense that struggled to find flow, a running game that was stagnant at times. What jumps off the tape at you, Emory, in making sense of what they lacked tonight?
They lacked an identity. Who they want to be. Do they want to be a team that wants to go out there and air it out 4 or 5 wides and just go balls to the wall throwing the football? Or do they want to be a team that wants to run the football and try to find some balance? They didn't have any type of identity. The difference really in this ball game was the fact that the Chargers ran the football a little bit better than the Raiders. And also when you look at when we were watching this game, we were saying, hey, they're playing the same game. Both of these teams are playing the same game. The difference is Geno Smith had those turnovers, one to start the game, and then had those timely turnovers throughout, which played them at times in Seattle, especially inside the red zone. You can't have those type of turnovers. So they have to not only be better at running the football or establishing an identity, but they have to maintain those possessions. They're not good enough as a football team to overcome those turnovers that we saw tonight.
Yeah, you hit it dead on the mark. They have no identity. They don't know what they want to be. And when you look at the players they've brought into the organization with Geno Smith and then drafting Ashton Jeanty top 10, you would think they would feature him more. I think getting him in space could really help the offense in terms of running the football that will provide a sense of balance because right now they're one-dimensional. We're not seeing Ashton Jeanty surface and showcase his skill set for whatever reason, but now you got to utilize and change the strategy a little bit. Get him out in space, you know, tall sweeps, outside zones, things like that where he can utilize and use his vision along with his contact balance to be able to be productive because you cannot be one-dimensional in this league when you talk about not having a running game and putting all the pressure on your quarterback in an offense that really lacks pass catchers in terms of, you know, playmakers outside of Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. They're still trying to figure that side of things out, and that's what surfaced in tonight's matchup.
What really bothered me was the fact that even though you know you come into this ball game, Brock Bowers is not 100%. Why the amount of targets to Brock Bowers?
Who else? I mean,
find somebody else.
You took the words out of my mouth. It didn't look like a Brock Bowers that belonged on a football field. The toughness, obviously, there, but he was dragging that leg around with him. We hope we can get 100% of Brock Bowers, and then this offense becomes something different. He is a big part of that aforementioned identity that they lacked on this night. Struggles for Geno, another LA win, and you said it, Mac, 2 wins in the division, another opportunity in front of them, against the Denver Broncos, an opportunity to go 3-0. with LA and their long-term hopes this season, a game like this, can it be, I won't say better than a convincing win, but having teachable tape for Coach Harbaugh going into another matchup? They're not reading the press clippings coming off of this one. Do you think that a coach like Coach Harbaugh uses a performance like this to button things up going into another divisional matchup?
No question. And the thing about this performance, I think it should really motivate the Chargers to be better, to really utilize a sense of urgency, because they control their own destiny right now, right? I know it's early on in the season. There's a lot of football left to be played, but they're undefeated. Every other team in the division has a loss. And 2 teams they've beaten already. And now the other team is coming up next on the schedule. So if you're the Chargers, you have an opportunity to claim stake on this division in the first month of the season based on your first 4 games coming against divisional foe opponents. So and you talked about the disconnect in terms of the rhythm and not being able to finish the game like we thought they should have finished. One thing they can hang their hat on, Justin Herbert is playing really, really good football.
Yes,
you just gave his numbers. They're throwing the football. Remember, we thought that would be a concern. The lack of playmakers at the pass-catching position outside of Lat McConkey.
Johnston.
I mean, Quentin Johnston has become more of a reliable pass catcher. You look at Harris's immersion. Getting Keenan Allen back in the fold has been massive. And now we're seeing Justin Herbert throw the football with confidence and is very, very accurate. We just need the running game to surface like it did a year ago. That was how they were earning their money last year, especially in the first part of the season. We haven't really seen the running game that we thought we would see so far this season, but it has put more of a light on Justin Herbert, and he's been able to answer that call.
Coaches say, hey, okay, look, we were terrible on 3rd down. We had turnovers with the running game, but we still dominated this football team within our division. Yeah. And so if we can clean up these things, they didn't do particularly well in the red zone. The penalties were high. Again, like when I said earlier, they played the same game as the Raiders. The coach will look at that and say, but we were able to come out on top, dominated. We can clean up these things, we'll be even better. And that's going to get that motivation thing going.
2-0 is 2-0. That's where the Chargers find themselves at the top of that division. We got more NFL on the way, and it comes with a twist. This week, the NFL Today and our NFL on CBS team celebrating Throwback Week. It all begins Sunday at noon Eastern Time on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.